I think that it's a really good sign. Like you said, the director already got another gig based off this movie. I think the trailer looks fantastic.
Adam West, not good. Morbius, not good. So I don't believe it. And we've seen too many instances in recent memory of a trailer being cut expertly well and the movie not being so good.
Holy crap. Is Kraven the Hunter actually going to be a good movie? What the hell was that trailer all about? I mean, come on. I thought it was going to be Kraven the Fart Hunter. I can't call him that right now. Now, that editor might be getting a raise, but it's coming out in December. So who knows? Venom also coming out. Peacemaker has a first look that we'll discuss that. Speaking of Kraven, that's another villain in the Sony universe. And is that an issue for Marvel? Because there's an article that says that Sony might be limiting the number of Spider-Man villains available to Marvel Studios. How is the rest of the DCU faring? What's going on as we get close? James Gunn, no reshoots necessary for Superman. I made a whole video about that the other day. I want to run it by the guys and see what they think about that. The Crow is around the corner. They're screening it a night and a half before it debuts. Bad sign? We shall see. D23 happened. Coy was there. He was in the room. He saw a bunch of the stuff. We'll talk about that Thunderbolts trailer. All these things leaked online, by the way. It's the whole reason why we knew that it was going to. That's why it's hard for them to show exclusive stuff, because everything leaks online. The Daredevil thing leaked online. Everything leaked online. But we'll get Coy's insight as he was there. And we have, obviously we had the video that Coy did for us that's on the channel right now, but we haven't really discussed it to him. So we'll ask questions. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. It's myself, it's Winston A. Marshall, Coy Jandreau, coming in hot. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Capes and Cows. It's myself, Winston A. Marshall, Coy Jandreau. Boys are back in town. You guys are dressed up like heroes. I'm the man in black today.
Dude, I heard rumor that Luke Cage is the Mike Coulter wants back in. So
oh yeah,
I had to come in dressed like Power Man.
We're gonna talk about that. Yeah, that's on the list as well. There's lots of stuff on the list here today, and it's something we should just jump right into. And let's just go right into this. All right, we'll start with the trailer itself. Kraven the Hunter. This is a movie that maybe Coy looks forward to every comic book movie and he's liked what Sony does with their 90s feel. So if I was going to guess, he was probably excited for this thing in the first place. I was not. I had absolutely no expectations for this thing. I saw the first trailer and said, yeah, this is another Sony fart piece. I'm like, I like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I didn't even realize Russell Crowe was even in the damn thing. And then this trailer hits. And I said, are they tricking me? Because this looks like a good movie. I'm like, what's happening? And it's like, it's violent. It looks, minus the silly Rhino CGI, but other than that, they just can't get Rhino right. Poor Rhino. But anyway, so it looks intense. I still don't really know what the story's about, but I don't care. I just know that the guy's running around in a lion costume. I guess he has lion powers. I don't care. But it looks solid. And then you hear this report that Sony feels the same way. Not only are they releasing it in December, they watched the director's cut of this movie, and they said, this is so good, we're giving you another movie. And he's doing another movie, not Kraven, just another separate movie that you got a deal on just for showing the Kraven movie. So they have confidence in it, and clearly coming out December 13th or whatever the hell it is. Am I crazy to say, guys, that this might actually be a decent movie?
It looks great. You're right with the opening there. Like, I'm the guy that likes the Sony movies, so I feel like anything I say, there's going to be comments in below. But I personally think it was really smart of them to do whatever reshoots they apparently did to tighten it up, coming off of Madam Web, to make the best possible movie they can. They're in Marvel's position times 100. They're fixing the optics around things. It's hard to even talk about this movie without 100 people going like, why do you even care? Because blah, blah, blah. So I think they know that, and they're trying to right the ship in a more aggressive way. I think that it's a really good sign. Like you said, the director already got another gig based off this movie. I think the trailer looks fantastic. I think they reshaped some of the like bled lion blood into him became lion, like whatever that first trailer was. This looks more like what we had initially heard, where he hunts the poachers killing the other animals, and they're using that as the hunter, because he's literally using weapons of either like the animal teeth or the bear trap. Like all of that looks awesome. He's hunting the hunters with their own wares. I think it looks great.
Winston, what'd you think of the trailer, man?
I mean, look, the action I thought looked cool. I trust Sony's live action Spider Universe about as far as I can throw them.
Right.
As far as I can throw the Rhino. I don't like I enjoy the Venom movies, but I could make the argument that only the first one is like decent and the second one is just shove popcorn in your face, but it's not good.
Right.
Adam Webb's not good. Morbius, not good. So like you haven't instilled faith in me to see this, because I remember seeing some of the trailers for this other stuff that it might not be that bad. So I don't believe it. And we've seen too many instances in recent memory of a trailer being cut expertly well and the movie not being so good. So until we get a little bit more, and more specifically, until I see it, I'm not putting no eggs in this basket. I am perfectly fine without eggs at this point.
I don't think you are wrong, even in the slightest, for feeling that way, because I ultimately said the same thing when I saw the trailer reaction. I've just been fooled so many times by Sony, and what they have to do is find someone to cut a trailer when they have a bad movie. Please cut me something good. Please cut me something something's going to take all the best elements that you can out of this movie and do it. And you're absolutely right when you say you can't trust the people making these movies, because they don't get it. Even when you hear the stuff where they want to go, oh, let's do instead of doing a grounded Spider-Man, let's do another multiverse Spider-Man. It's like, no, what are you doing? And when it comes to the live action stuff, however, the reason why I go is this actually pretty good is not just because of the trailer, because you can get duped. It doesn't matter if you have, whether or not you want to have someone cut a good trailer for you. If you know something stinks, what you don't do is you don't give it a prime spot in December if you know it's a bad movie, if you're an exec.
Or give that director more work right away.
That's exactly right. And
he's the more director work, sure, but he said with Aquaman still being released in December and not being good, like I hear you.
But wait,
I totally hear that.
But Winston, for Aquaman though, you're working on past data that says we put Aquaman out before in December, and Aquaman made us, and there's two things here. Aquaman made us, the first one, $1 billion, right? So even if they said, hey, this movie isn't that good with Aquaman, we need to put it in December because we know we're going to get a most bang for a buck there. Plus, that movie costs $150, $200 million or more to do, where this one costs significantly less. That you could have stuck it in January, February, like you did Madame Web and you did Mobius. Those movies came out in January and February.
Okay, sure, I'll give you that. Then a better comp might be The Flash. I understand that, like there was
big movie, still big budget.
You dropped it. I understand that, and I understand that that's what you're doing with said budget. But then, like, this is where I'm thinking you either try and sweep up like that October, November sweet spot. You try and get the early spring stuff one way or the other. I just feel like that this doesn't, to me, it still doesn't guarantee anything.
Oh, I don't disagree. I don't disagree that it doesn't guarantee it. I'm just saying.
But it does change the expectation.
Yes.
I think some. I think it's worth having the conversation about those number of variables. Even Mr. Sony, I enjoy this stuff. I still think it's fair to be trepidatious, but I still think there should be a conversation about, there looks to be more optimism even from cynics about this one.
That's exactly what I'm saying, because I'm so skeptical about everything you said, Winston. They have given me nothing to have confidence that this movie will be good, but they want to make money, and you will lose money if you're marketing that heavy into a December season. You're going to lose more money than you would if you stick it in January or February, because that's why they put those movies in January. They're not going to put big marketing pushes. So, and giving the director work. So it just, as I said, it's just like, okay, well, they clearly actually think this is a good movie. And I can't believe by watching that trailer that I felt like, what? This is something I actually, yeah.
That's fine, Charlie Brown. If you want to be on your back again, that's on you. I'm not.
No. I'm not. Listen, I'm not. When I'm sitting there, and they go, I'm going in expecting a fart piece. There's no doubt. I'm just saying that as you can look around and say, well, they have confidence in this thing. Now we're going to find out after we see it if that confidence was misguided. And if they shouldn't have given this guy another movie, and they're like, oh, maybe that's part of the marketing was, oh, no, we really love it. We're giving him another movie. And then we walk out and we go, well, you shouldn't. But I
at the end of the day, like, I am excited for the next 3 months. That's how I'd rather be. Like, I know it's not good to be disappointed, but at the same time, I'd rather look forward to something until December than to assume it's going to be crap till December. And like, that's coming from someone that lived 15 years of not getting these movies except once a year. So to me, it's always a gift, and I'd rather be disappointed once than stay disappointed.
How dare you? It is not a gift because that is my birthday week, and they want to put this potential fart box right on my week.
But what if it's good? But what if it's good?
Everything is a potential fart box.
Better be. They better both invite me to the premiere, and it better be good if it's going to be a real present. Otherwise, nah. You were trying to usurp my time.
Watch.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Watch. You want me to set Coy off? Coy, does Winston have enough followers as far as a influencer to get invited to a premiere?
So what are you planning to do as a brand for representing this as an influencer? Will you be making TikToks dancing, which is related to the film How? Thanks.
I'm black.
That's correct.
That's correct. He answered like a good studio exec. He didn't say yes. He said that's correct.
I was in character.
Yeah, that's good. 100%. The exec said, I do not have authority. I do not. That doesn't matter, sir. It doesn't matter.
I cannot comment except
correct.
That's correct.
That's correct. That was great.
God.
That was great. Yeah. Anyway, well, listen.
Also, like, at the end of the day, and I've forgotten this until today, this morning, I saw an interview. The man who wrote Logan, before he had written Logan, had written like a number of really bad comic films.
Yeah.
So I think there's also a certain amount of like, I got to case by case these beasts, and I know the studio's one thing, but this trailer has me excited, and I hope for your birthday's sake, Winston, that it delivers.
I want nothing more than for this to genuinely be a good movie. That would make me happy. I want something to be able to be like, yo, I'm trying to see this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 times. Like, great.
Yeah.
But it genuinely, that is what gives me pause.
Yeah, of course.
The same way that what trust is hard to gain, easily lost.
100%.
Lost my trust with these movies so far, so they're gonna have to.
How cool would it be for us, like specifically our Capes and Cowls audience, us three, but also the people that watch this because they're excited, for us to get 3 R-rated superhero films this year that are good and send a strong message of make this more? Because if we get Joker, already had Deadpool, Wolverine, and then Kraven's good, that is a huge, make R-rated comic movies because your audience wants it.
100%. And I think that there is something, the last thing, just using that date again, Winston, that when you look at, originally this movie, I think, was supposed to come out in January, January of last year. I can't remember. It was supposed to be, or not January of last year, January of this year. It was last October, then January, then they moved it. But as Coy said, they gave the director enough time to work on stuff and reshoot some stuff and put some stuff together of the presentation that he wanted to put forward. So, look, my fingers are crossed. I don't know. But what do you guys think, man? Do you think that this movie actually could be decent? Do you think that the trailer just might be, polishing a turd? Or do you actually think that, hey, they have enough confidence, maybe Sony's going to have their first movie outside of the MCU and outside of animated films that could actually be decent? I'm so curious to hear what everybody thinks. Coy mentioned it. There's other movies coming out this year. I was trying to do thinking about a list so far. I'm like, oh, because I thought at one point and quickly answered my own question, but I said, oh, is all the comic book movies done this year? I'm like, no, we have tons of them left. But it's like, there's so far this year we've had the first one, the only one, which is Deadpool and Wolverine inside of the MCU. Was the Henry Cavill one, was it a comic book, right?
No, it was Guy Ritchie. It was based on loosely the origins of...
Right, it was a true story, but I wasn't sure if they also did a graphic novel on it. Anything else? I mean, they have The Crow coming out. We have
Madame Web was this year, if memory serves.
It's another R-rated comic book movie with the Crow, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
Yeah. Madame Web, yes, that's true. Opened the beginning of this year, so that was a comic book movie. Yeah, so they have that, Kraven, Venom, Joker. There's still a bunch left.
TV.
Lots of TV, but I'm just talking about for the end of the year, we'll probably do something of like we did last year. We'll probably do a top 5 of or rank them in order. We know Madame Web's probably going to be last
God,
already.
I hope so.
We hope so, right? I know we don't want to put anybody else in that spot, but
yeah, we're not even including TV. We're just talking movies.
Just movies. Yeah, because I mean, when it comes to
the volume of what we'd have to watch, like I love Hit Monkey. I don't have time for season 2 right now.
Oh, no, I get that, but I'm trying to think. As far as TV, you had The Boys. You've got Invincible,
Penguin.
You had Penguin that's about to come out.
Yeah.
Supercell.
Yes, tons.
Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And I think. And Hit Monkey, that's it. That's only 6, right?
Kite Man, Cape Crusader. We've also got Harley Quinn season 5. My Adventure.
Wasn't Invincible? Did you guys say Invincible already?
Yeah. Okay, so it's like 10.
It's a lot. Yes.
That's doable.
Are you crazy? I haven't watched The Boys yet.
You have till December.
Exactly. Until December, right? To watch everything that I've missed. So it's there's tons of stuff as far as movies coming out. I think that. We'll see. I'm always looking to be surprised. In the same way, this is not comic book related, but I was excited because I'm a Saturday Night Live guy. I was excited to see what Jason Reitman was going to do. That movie has leaped into my most anticipated movies. Like, if not, it's in the top 3 or 4 for sure of what I want to see for the rest of the year. And that's what I'm hoping for.
That's this year?
Yeah, man. It's in October.
Oh, that's up there for me too.
Yeah. Then. Yeah, it's in October, and I think they're doing a heavy push. They want it to get it for awards and stuff too. And you guys both seen that trailer, right?
It's incredible.
So good, so good. Did you get a chance to see it yet, Winston, or no?
Sorry, which one?
Saturday night about Saturday Night Live.
Right. No, I have not seen that one yet. I mainly because, to be honest with you, I try. Unless it's a trailer for something
that we have to watch,
I'm gonna cover. Yeah, I'd rather just go in blind.
I think that's fair. That's what I did it with Alien Romulus.
Dude, how good is Alien Romulus?
Really good, and I'm so glad I never saw a single trailer because I went back and watched the trailer after I saw the movie, and they spoil things in it that I didn't want to know.
That is my main reasoning. I used to love trailers, but they used to just like when you go and watch, like doing the rewatches of the X-Men movies and watching what those old trailers were. All of your favorite X-Men, Cyclops, Blast, Storm. That is a trailer back then. Versus now, it's like Coy Jandreau hates everybody. He decides to start World War III and succeeds. Will they be able to travel back in time and undo it? Yes, they will. Oh, right. Like what?
Right.
You literally just ruined the movie for me.
Yeah, it was true. There was that's Tom Hanks and a Robin Wright movie that's coming out with Robert Zemeckis directing it. They showed the whole entire film.
Yes, I'm really mad about that because that's a movie I would be because it looks essentially like a stage play, but the way that they're focusing.
I know the entire movie. I know everything that happens with the 3 anyway. So we'll see what happens in the rest of the year. We have a bunch of stuff, and we will jump into D23 stuff in just a moment. Before we do, I got to tell you guys about 2 of our wonderful sponsors. I'm going to tell you got to wash your rear ends with Tushy. That's right. That is the way to start it. And rate Shadow Legends. Follow that up. All right, here you go with both. So many comments lately about everybody that's buying the Tushies. And I see why you're buying them. I love them. You love them. Chris Carr loves them. Everybody loves the Tushies. I'm so excited to get you guys to get a Tushy that I almost thought about doing this from the bathroom. But then I was like, no, I want you to get it. It's terrible. That's a terrible thing for me to do. But I want to do it because I want to show you how much I love the Tushies. Check this out alone. Look at this. Just open up the toilet lid. You spray the water right in your tush. It's wonderful. Look at that. That's how it works. It's that easy. You put it on the toilet. You open it up. You spray the water on your butt. It's lovely. It's going to change the way that you think about cleaning up after a spicy dump in a coffee shop or a porta potty during a music festival. You're going to want to take Tushy with you everywhere, and thankfully you can. Because the Tushy Travel, it's collapsible, it's durable, and discreet portable bidet that gives you the most confident clean on the go. I keep telling people about these things. Everybody are getting the tushies now, and everyone's like, oh man, can I use your code? Can I use your code? Of course you can. It's the best. I got one. I've got 2 in my house right now, and it is so wonderful. We feel classy in this house. It's got a 3-stream nozzle for a total clean. It's got a new air mesh bag for discreet travel, faster dry time. It comes in 5 new colors. Every Hello Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and 12-month warranty. So stop wiping until you bleed. Join the 2 million butts who have already made the switch to Tushy. For a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off your entire order, but you got to use that code BIGTHING. 10% off Hello Tushy, HELLTUSHY.com with the promo code BIGTHING. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about one of our sponsors today. That's Raid Shadow Legends. You've been watching this channel long enough. You've heard it's one of the only mobile RPG games that I have played. And I'm not alone. There's over 4 million users that are playing Raid Shadow Legends. It's got over 250 million downloads. It's cool because it has over 850 playable champions. It's got 16 factions to choose from. It's got over 30 bosses to take down. It's got millions and millions of builds that you can work with. So this is a game that you are not going to be bored playing. It's got monthly content updates. It's fully cross-platformed. You can play it with everybody. So do me a favor, click on the link in the description and you will see why this is one of the most downloaded RPGs and why so many people are playing it. Go and give it a shot. What's great is the second you sign up, they give you a starter pack and they give you a champion, Big Elf, Big Ears, Tyrell. He's pretty awesome. Tyrell is highly regarded as one of the big players. He's got a lot of different things that come in. All Raid players talk about how incredible he is with the arsenal that he comes with. When you reach level 25, you get another starter pack. So come join me. You can join the Clan Harloff when you sign up with Raid Shadow Legends. This isn't a silly game. This isn't a stupid game. This is a fun game. This is a game that you guys know me. It takes me a while to, like, oh, am I interested? And I'm interested. I talked about this a while ago, and I'm still talking about it now. So check it out. Its link is in the description. All right, Tushy, Raid Shadow Legends, thank you guys for being part of the show. I have been mentioning this. I hope you guys have been listening. I put in the description, obviously, if you're able to and you have the means to get one of the sponsors, that boosts the show and keeps us on the air for a very long time. But if you're like, I can't afford it right now, I'm not able to do it, I don't really want anything, do me a favor. Just do me a favor right now. Click on one of those links and browse. That helps. They look at the data, they go, oh, people were looking around the site, and that helps. Just do that. Okay, let's move on to D23. All right, the big news, D23, at least for what we talk about on this show, was Daredevil. We knew it would be. They showed the trailer. I normally don't like to look at leaks because not only do I think they shouldn't be leaked, I also never like the quality of it. It's like some guy shooting from the bottom of here. I believe that Disney and whoever else wanted these to be leaked. I think that there's no other explanation. What's that?
Especially because a lot of them are still up.
Not only are they still up, they are direct like this, straight at the screen, and there is no world where whoever was filming that, the people that go back and forth didn't see them doing it. So it seems, Coy, a little less, people a little less restrictive, it seems. We'll talk about that in a second and ask you what you think about that. But I did watch the Daredevil thing. I was curious enough. It was right at the screen. It looked high quality. I didn't miss anything in sound. It looked like they should have just released them all online because it looked that good. This trailer looks fantastic. It looks exactly what I wanted it to be. It looks like the Netflix continuation. Kingpin is back to form. He's no longer that goofy moron that was on Hawkeye. Let's keep that dope in the multiverse. This Vincent D'Onofrio, this Kingpin is back. The rest of the crew is back. Foggy's back. Everybody's back. And it's looking slick. I dug it. And I'm very excited for it. Coy, being in the room, did it steal the show? Or I think it was supposed to steal the show. Did it deliver? Was it the top dog of the Marvel presentation?
I would say easily the top dog of the Marvel presentation, and that's not to besmirch the other 4 things, but it was a cacophony of excitement in that room. It was 12,000 people freaking out. I think the reason that panel had so many leaks is because it was in the Honda Center. It was 12,000 of us. It was a hockey arena. So I think that there might have been legitimate able to leak footage because there was nothing leaked from the Marvel Animation panel in a room that was like, I don't know, 2,000. Like, I don't know how big that other room was, but you'll notice there was no leaks on Saturday, and there were only leaks from the Honda Center.
So you think there was
I think it was a security issue. I think it was just impossible to cover that many bodies.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it was literally like, imagine a concert being like, no filming.
But wait. They did that. They'd done that at D23, that everyone had to put their phones away in those bags. In the bag.
They should have done the bags. They did. I had my phone the whole time.
What I'm saying.
I think they wanted coverage of the stuff in between, but they should have picked. Do you want coverage or do you want there to be no leaks?
So I don't know if the D23, the way it usually worked for press. I didn't get to go this year, but usually how it worked for press was everybody in that room, minus the press, had to check their phones in those bags. Press were given a thing, and they could hold on to their phones. They could do their computer stuff, and still the people back and forth were yelling. Like, I remember one time this one journalist was screaming at one of the ushers. They're like, because the usher's like, "Put your phones down. You can't shoot. Like, we're press. Like, it doesn't matter." And then one of the Disney reps came over and said, "No, they're fine to do that." But they put everybody else's phones in bags. Curious that they didn't do it this time.
It was like CinemaCon, that it's a similar setup where they take your phone, press has laptop and phone access. I think it was too big. It took us like an hour and a half to get out of the arena, like physically. Wow. If you added phones to that, I think it would have been like 4 hours. And they had it really late. It was from 7 to 10. It was a 3-hour panel starting at 7 p.m. I mean, you and I were going to try to do something collaboratively, like across the country, but it was 1 a.m. for you.
I was exhausted.
And like, I didn't physically, I texted you like, "Hey, I'm leaving." And then an hour and a half later, I was like, "I have left." It took that long. So I just don't think logistically it was possible. But I also...
But why not throw copy strikes? Why not throw copyright strikes on those videos when they go up? They're still up.
I have only so much devil advocacy.
I also, Coy, I'm sorry. I got to call BS in the sense that, like, I went to... I can't remember who it was in Friends that played the Hollywood Bowl, comedian, and my brain is fried right now.
They took Bill Burr's. I know Bill Burr always hasn't taken phones, but that's like most of the big ones.
That's a 17,000 plus a venue where they will straight up bag. It was Kevin Hart, I think. Kevin Hart at the Bowl.
But you want you want the regular people to film the other stuff, though. It's not like it's pick and choose. Like, if you want people to film the things you want to be exposed.
I get it, but there's also a way that you could very easily set up a situation, because you can release. If all those people are coming, thank you, here's your phone back, here's a QR code. If you scan this, all of the footage you saw here today, if it is like a press thing, you go for it. You can have whatever, so you can control it. You can even set it to be like, this will only work 48 hours from now, whatever it is. I think, like, I get you want some of it to go out, but if you're going to do that, then at this point, just release the trailers. They're clearly done trailers. So, like, I don't know. I feel like
I don't think people spend money. I don't think people spend money to go to these events if you just release the trailers.
Well,
that's what I think it is. Like, I don't think people are going to drop the money to be in that room if there is no reason that you just wait till the next day and watch it.
I'm gonna push back on that one, Coy, just because I think that D23 and Comic-Con are different. I think that D23, the people that I've seen at D23 normally go are like Disney fanatics and go to they're buying tickets in general to go to. They want to know about the parks. They want to know things, and it's an added bonus for them to go. They don't care if things get leaked or not on the. They're not there for exclusive footage. Hall H people, they're there for exclusive footage. There's no doubt. I don't think, maybe now so with the culture as it's changing, but I really don't think that people are going like, you know what, I'm only buying my ticket for D23 so I can see exclusive footage. I don't think that's the same thing there. I don't think that anybody would have really bitched if they put these things out. I think that there's certain times where they want to do that and they feel like, oh, everybody here is there, you know, and you're not waiting on like, how long was the line wait for that panel? Is it the same thing for Hall H where you're waiting around for like, you're not waiting around for like a day, 2 days?
It was like a 3 hour. Right. I had to get there at 3:30, 4:07. Like, it was like 3.5 hours.
Right.
Like, it was a long day.
So, well, you had to wait online for that?
Dude, I got to where they picked us up. There were like creators or whatever they call them, meeting to take a shuttle over at 3:30 for the 7 o'clock panel.
Time has changed.
Like, I was there all day. Like, I'm still tired.
I'm sure you were. Yeah.
I just feel like there is a way to do this to split the difference.
Yeah.
Don't make the trailer exclusive. Drop the because Moana trailer
came
out.
Show scenes.
Trailer, Drop the trailer and then show me something like a short or something, or a scene.
Right. Show me scenes. Yeah, right.
That won't be out for a long time. So that's your exclusive. To do this with the trailers that are supposed to be you're hyping stuff up like that, and to now let this bad quality stuff be all over the place.
It's bad quality, and everybody, and the other things, people break it down, and you're listening to it anyway. And it's like, if you want to, I guess the argument is, well, the stuff that is out there right now, they really want to focus on Agatha. That's the stuff they want you to see. They want you to see what else they got coming out. Oh, Captain America is the trailer that they have. They want you. Those are the ones they want you to pay attention to. So they don't want to have Fantastic Four teasers out there yet. They don't want to have Thunderbolts stuff out there because they're not focusing on Thunderbolts. They want to show this same trailer they showed for Thunderbolts. They want to show that at the time when it's time to hype it. So they don't want to put it out now because they don't want to have to cut another trailer, you know, around the time, like, because when that movie comes out in, when is it? Is that
May?
That's May, and then, oh, you're right, in July is Fantastic Four. So that movie comes out in May, so you would assume that they're probably going to start, and because they want to hype Captain America first. So they want Captain America first. So after Captain America, then they show Thunderbolts. So they don't want a trailer out there right now. So that makes sense. I understand it.
I think we get first trailer holiday season, second trailer with Cap.
Maybe.
So I think they wait till December because that's 5 months.
Bro, you know the solution to that problem then? Honestly, again, with it that you want to show something exclusive, then don't show a trailer. Then when you go instead, hey, y'all, we know you're excited about Captain America Brave New World. Here's actually the scene that you've seen of Isaiah Bradley attacking the president. And then you get to watch that 3 to 5 minute scene.
Right.
That's what you get. And then you again, lock stuff down. So you've given your audience something cool, but then you're not just kind of throwing the trailer. I don't want to recut another trailer. Like it just seems counterintuitive.
Well, it's true because when that scene drops, it's like, well, it's one scene, and sure, it leaks, then it leaks, fine. But like when you're leaking a trailer, you're like, well, that's representing your entire movie, and you're going to show grainy footage, or you're showing it at the time you didn't want to. But nonetheless, the trailer for Daredevil drops, and it's just real solid. Winston, did you see the leaked trailer?
No, because that was the same thing. I
staying away.
Watch leaked trailers like that's because it's also bad quality. I tried to watch the Thunderbolts one and I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, right. But that's the difference. Said, nope. The Daredevil one was like it might as well been released. It was so clear and
so
the sound.
Is it still up? Because
I don't know.
I'll watch it now, but but as of like I tried the Thunderbolts one, couldn't hear crap.
I didn't watch the Thunderbolts one.
I tried Ironheart. I was like, this is stupid. So I gave up. I stopped trying
those two I didn't watch because quality-wise, but whatever they did for Daredevil, it's like whether Charlie Cox was in the audience or they gave him something for his phone and he just uploaded it. It looked really, I mean, the tone, this is the right move though, Winston, right? To do exactly what they did, to go back, reshoot this thing and go Netflix style.
1,000%. That's one of your most successful, maybe not by your hand, but most successful Netflix TV shows, period.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close. It literally goes Loki, probably let's say what WandaVision, and then this and Punisher are like the Mount Rushmore of Marvel television that have like really held it down. Maybe I'm missing one or two things here, but that X-Men 97.
Yeah.
That I missed that. So like yes, you got to go back to what works, especially when you got the feedback you did of Vincent's Kingpin and Hawkeye. No. We gotta figure something else out.
Coy, feel the same?
Yeah, I mean the footage. I missed something apparently in the early spring where they confirmed that it was part of the Netflix canon, like 100%. The internet's been very mad at me. Like even in the video I sent you, like I thought it was, we're gonna fudge this a little bit and we'll make it work. Because even the way Kevin Feige introduced it, he was like, you know, a reimagining taking place after, like the way it was phrased, I thought it was still a born again new universe, but tied in.
Oh,
but
you
apparently
did.
It's like a season 4.
Yeah, I didn't know you didn't know that.
No, the whole internet's like it's season 4. It's all canon. I was like, I'm sorry, I missed something.
I think when they brought back Foggy and Karen, I thought that was pretty much an indicator.
I thought it was assumed. I didn't know it was like they made a statement.
Interesting.
So I apologize to everyone that I missed the statement. But
Get the F out of here.
Dude, the internet got so mad.
The only way to apologize is if you started cussing people out about it. Like, Coy, actually, it's part of the shut the hell up. I'm Coy Jean-Drew and you some punk ass on Twitter. Like, if you did that, you should apologize.
That's what he
I've
used
just
to
been
do.
sending thumbs up.
Yeah, better.
I've just been a little passive aggressive, but also real thumbs ups.
And the thumbs up, and it rewarded you for it. So, see, a little bubbly.
But the footage itself, to speak on the trailer, I thought it was genius to show a little flash of Bullseye, to give us like Foggy and Karen to remind us like of the supporting characters we love, and to have John Bernthal like straight up in the trailer as part of the cast. Like that was my big pop. Was he's not just in the show, he's in the show. And he was there at the panel. I'm so excited for Bernthal's Punisher and Red to be back together again.
Me too. Okay, well there's that, and then there was this. The Thunderbolts did show their trailer, as Winston said. This thing was just like, it was kind of muffled. It didn't look good. I didn't watch it. I don't want to watch it that way. Didn't get a chance to see it. Coy, you did see this trailer, so I don't really know what were your overall thoughts?
This wasn't a D23. I think that Thunderbolts is from San Diego. This wasn't at my panel.
Oh wow!
So they had 5 things. It opened with Cap, Brave New World, then went Fantastic Four, switched over to TV.
Okay.
It was Daredevil, Agatha, and Ironheart, and they showed Ironheart footage, but it was 5 things total.
So
no Thunderbolts.
That's what I was saying. Is I don't remember you talking about Thunderbolts. So did they even? But didn't this start leaking recently? This Thunderbolts?
Yeah, it was literally leaked from 3 weeks ago's Comic-Con, which is hilarious.
Wow.
Like literally, Comic-Con was the only place they've shown that, which is why I think it's so funny that it's like we're getting leaks out of order, and also what's leaking and how.
I was very confused.
Oh, did you watch the trailer, Coy?
I haven't.
You didn't watch it.
I want to see it properly.
I thought Coy saw it, so I thought we were going to be able to kind of see overall what it is. But you guys, I guess we can just jump back to that previous conversation. We think that we're getting this on. And Coy says December. I think. Yeah.
Probably sooner than that. I could
sooner?
see it. I could see it like football season's coming up. I could see that happening for one of the Monday Night Footballs, because that's the ESPN, which is ABC, which is Disney. So like I could see something like that. I could also, if you go as late as December, then my guess is you hold it off for maybe Christmas Day NBA stuff. Again, I think you cross-pollinate with one of your major other draws, so then all of a sudden you've got people watching those games and stuff like that. They can drop it randomly, I guess, but like I would guess you're going to save the Christmas Day game for your final Captain America trailer.
Yeah, I don't even think we're getting it. I don't think we are, and I don't think we should get it in 2024. It would make no sense for them to drop it, and I mean, whether it's a football game or in December, because if I'm Marvel or Disney, well, what movie are we promoting first? Are we promoting that movie, or are we promoting Captain America? It's like, promote Captain America, and then if it's the beginning of the year, if it's a Super Bowl, if you're getting close, I mean, I still don't think you should promote 2 movies at the same time. But if you get Captain America out there and then you promote the Thunderbolts during Captain America, that to me makes more sense.
The only thing I'm thinking, though, because you got 3 that you got to get, and pretty quickly, you need to do a final Captain America trailer. They don't have to, but just knowing how they market, they're probably going to. You got to gear up Thunderbolts, and then you got to gear up Fantastic Four. I can see a world where you get 1 Thunderbolts, you get Captain America around Christmas to like kind of round this out. And then you get Fantastic Four maybe at like the Super Bowl.
Yeah, maybe
for that. You got it, because you got to kind of get the ball rolling.
And they're usually 6 months and then 3 months, and it's only 3 months between the 2 movies.
I know. You know what? Hearing you guys say that, it's like it does make sense, because remember, they're supposed to, and Blade was supposed to come out. They're supposed to have 4 movies. They're not. But they have these 3 movies very close to one another, so maybe you're right. I just think that it's just counterproductive to promote 2 different movies at the same time. It's like, well, which one's coming out first? And because the reason is, clearly the Thunderbolts trailer is done, so this trailer, when they put it out, you're probably not wrong. It might come out before December. I just think it's a mistake.
I think you attach it. If it's sooner, you put it on Joker in October.
Yeah.
If it's later, you put it on something in December, like maybe even Kraven. But you put it on that Target Demos movie, and then you get word out, because you need that 6-month run for the announcement. I also think, tinfoil hat theory, I think the first trailer is Thunderbolts with the asterisks. I think the second trailer comes post Captain America 4, and the events of Captain America 4 inform the new title, and the second trailer's got the new title.
Interesting. You think they're going to change I think if they're going to change the title, it's going to be similar to the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, where the show became Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I think they're called the Thunderbolts until the end of the movie, and then maybe they're the Dark Avengers or whatever it is it's going to be. I don't know if they change that until the end of that movie.
I could see either one. I do think there is a title change. It's just whether or not it happens in movie or in marketing, but I do think that asterisk, I think something happens in Cap 4 that asterisk changes.
Very confusing, gentlemen. Very confusing. I'll tell you what's not confusing, though, is our good friends, as I've mentioned many times over, with Liquid IV. I am a big fan of both Liquid IV and Hims. I'll tell you about both of them. Here you go. I was having a barbecue with the family, and I was going to go and went to pick up some games for the kids to play, and I was picking up cornhole, and while I was at the sports store getting it, I kept seeing Liquid IV, and more, I'm so excited that people are learning about Liquid IV because I've known about them now for a bit since they've been on the show. It's the summer. The summer is thick right now, and your favorite summer treat could be giving you extraordinary hydration. Liquid IV has refreshing summer flavors like popsicle firecracker, it's got rainbow sherbet. It hits the spot when you need transformative, hydrating relief all summer long. So I really do enjoy it. It's been nice to have it. I moved, and I live in a very humid area now, and it's great to have Liquid IV. It really is, and I love this popsicle one, so I'm showing it right now. So what you want to do is they have so many different flavors too that makes it just really, really fresh. And you can choose from their line of sugar-free flavors. They have raspberry melon, they have white peach, they have green grape. It's great. You can go to the website and you can find all of it. It keeps your wellness rituals fresh and it keeps you motivated, keeps you hydrated. So what you want to do is you want to tear, pour, live more. One stick, 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. It's powered by LIV Hydroscience, which is an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. It's got 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. So indulge in hydration this summer with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV, but you got to use liquidiv.com and use the code BIGTHING at checkout. You get 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today. Use that promo code BIGTHING at liquidiv.com. Hims! Guys, when we leave the house, whether you got your phone, wallet, keys, how's your hair look? But if you're experiencing hair loss, you may not be so confident when you step outside your door. Now you got to get confident again, and you got to restore your hair. And you do it with Hims, because nobody wants to lose your hair. And for men, it's common. And now with Hims, the solution is simple. You try Hims hair loss solutions, and you'll be joining hundreds of thousands of subscribers who got their flow back. Hims provides access to a range of hair loss treatments that work all the way from the comfort of your couch. They offer personalized chewable, orable, spray, and serum treatment options so you can find what works best for you. The process is simple and 100% online. Just answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine if the treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to your door. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, so if you feel like you're losing a part of yourself with your hair loss, get Hims and get your confidence back. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/bigthing, HIMS.com/bigthing for your personalized hair loss treatment options. So that's hims.com/bigthing. Results vary based on studios of topical and oral mixodal. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. All right, thank you to our friends over at Liquid IV and Hims. And please, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Click on that link. Browse around. Just do that. You say, why? Because I'm asking you to nicely. That's why. That's it. See you later. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so if you hit that button, it'd be wonderful. And I also want you to get great stuff. And all right, guys, we got more stuff that we got to do. We got more stuff we're going to talk about. And how about this story? Just talked about it. Bring it up.
Sweet Christmas.
That's right. That's his new name, Sweet Christmas. No. Luke Cage star Mike Colter appears to have changed his mind about a possible Marvel return. After previously discounting the possibility of a return to the MCU as Power Man Luke Cage, Mike Colter changed his mind. He is talking about playing the iconic superhero again. Mike Colter first played Luke Cage in Jessica Jones before starring in 2 seasons of his own actor. Mike Colter first played Luke Cage and Jessica Jones before starring in 2 seasons of his own series. The actor also reprised the role in The Defenders and was a well-liked choice for the role among comic book fans. Some questionable decisions were made in Luke Cage Season 2, and Power Man's story ended with him becoming Harlem's new crime boss. Marvel Studios has since regained the rights to the Marvel television characters who appeared on Netflix Daredevil and has been a clear priority for the MCU. Rumors continue to swirl about Kristen Ritter returning as Jessica Jones, but for the time being, she, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist remain on the shelf. Coulter has never sounded particularly enthusiastic about playing Cage again, but seems to have changed his tune after seeing what's going on with Daredevil Born Again. I would love to explore it if they found some story, some way, somewhere to take it, he admitted. And I'm happy that Charlie Cox and those guys are getting rebooted, but I don't have any idea if Luke Cage is getting rebooted. I'm not holding anything back. I think that's the right move, Coulter said of Daredevil Born Again, which is essentially Daredevil Season 4. They should have never tried to reboot it. No, I don't know what that was about. I'm like, well, yeah, duh, it wasn't broke, so don't fix it. Earlier this year, he sounded far less enthusiastic about the possibility of joining the MCU. I don't stay up night thinking about it, nor do recall it unless someone brings it up. But I enjoyed my time. I don't look in the past. If something comes up, great, we'll talk about it, but right now I'm past it. Then last January, he said, it's one of those things where it's in the rearview mirror at this point. If somehow I get a call, my dance card is kind of full. If I get a call, something happens, great. I had a good time. I'm happy, more than happy, to let someone else take on that mantle or the role. That character's living on for a long time. Fans are going to have a character in one way, shape, or form for the rest of their lives, and I'm happy to have been part of that for those guys. While we may see Coulter's Luke Cage and Daredevil Born Again Season 2, we'd bet on both that the character and Danny Rand remaining on the shelf until after Avengers Secret Wars in the new MCU. Marvel Studios can reboot both heroes, likely with different lead stars. We will, however, see another Iron Fist in Marvel Studios' upcoming Eyes of Wakanda animated series. All right, Winston, so he's talking about he's changing his tune. Is that because you think, hey, look at what everyone's excited about this. It's back to what they said they were going to do, and it's going to be popular. It's that Marvel MCU money now. Bring me on board, or is it something else?
I think it's a combo. I think because one of the main reasons he said he didn't want to continue was specifically for Luke Cage, very similar to a Thor, because of the physique that you truly have to have. Not that all the superheroes, anybody playing one doesn't have to be jacked, but like you got to be jacked to play like Power Man, to play Luke Cage. And Mike was quoted in saying like, I do love the role and everything, but like it's a lot of work to do that. And if you're putting in that kind of work, and it's very similar to when you watch an athlete be like, I don't know if I want to keep playing football if I got to be on this crappy team and I got to bust my ass just for us to go 0-16. And by the time we got to the end of Luke Cage Season 2, questionable ending, as the article said. The Defenders didn't go necessarily how they wanted. The whole of the Netflix brand was being dragged down if it wasn't Daredevil or the Punisher. I don't blame him for being like, let me kind of take a step back, especially because the way it was originally pitched and even talked about in the shows, these were connected. There were talks about, the green guy doing whatever, in Manhattan and things like that. And then that changed. So like, I don't blame you if you thought you were going to be in the sandbox with Chris Evans and Ryan and Robert Downey Jr. and all that, to find out that like, you got a good thing going with your crew, but it just kind of lives here. I don't blame him for being like, let me go off somewhere else now. But I'm glad he's considering coming back.
What do you think?
I also think there's two things to specifically his situation where Season 3 was storyboarded. They were like 2 weeks out from shooting. Like Luke Cage with Season 3 was done. So it'd be extra hard for that loss if you were that close to doing more. And he spent probably 5 years of every single interviewer, like they do with anyone, asking about Luke Cage. So I kind of like his statement being like, it's in the rear view. Like, I'd really like to focus on the present. If something's out of your control and that's the only thing you're asked about or the main thing you're asked about, that would be kind of exhausting. So I think it's really mature to go. At the time, I was thinking it was not going to happen again. I got so close. We were like weeks out from shooting. That show was the closest thing to filming of any of them, Runaways or Daredevil. Like that was weeks out. And I think seeing Born Again would be the first time I'd go, this seems like an actual possibility. Let me kind of rewrite that in my mind. I really like Mike Coulter. I think this was a smart way to handle it.
Yeah, I agree. He's really good, and I'm bummed. I had him locked in for an interview, and then it got canceled.
Oh, he's a good dude. He really loves Luke Cage. He's friends with my buddy Emma, and every time I've talked to him, he cares so much that it actually seems like he just doesn't want to live in talking about it without being able to do it. Like, it'd be hard to be like, oh, that thing I love. Oh, sorry.
Right.
To this day, it is my second favorite MCU interview was him on the red carpet and me asking him, like, bro, what is Luke Cage's weakness? And he goes, the ladies, dog. The ladies are what's going to take him down. I was like, yo, this guy gets it.
That's so funny.
The coffee, man. You got to get coffee. I respect it.
That's right. So, all right, what do you guys think? Should he come back? Do you think that they will have him come back? If they have him come back, it'll probably be in Daredevil season 2, which is already announced, which makes sense anyway. Remember the first, how many episodes is this season?
I've heard anything from 8 to 10, but I'm hoping it's 10. I know it's not 18 anymore.
Which is great. And it's also a reason why they already greenlit season 2, because they knew they were going to do 18 for the first one. So they're like, oh, we already had this. We already were doing this. Let's
just don't go the route of House of the Dragon and cut off 2 episodes last minute and make people leave with a bad taste in their mouth. Like, was this just a giant trailer?
All right. I understood, but I liked season 2, but I understood the criticism for House of the Dragon. I get it. All right, let's move on to another topic, and it's this one. All right, this was something that I have been talking about. I talked about this on Monday. I did my own video on Tuesday, so I'm not going to go too much into it by myself again, because you guys heard me talk about this, but I'm going to bring it up to both Winston and Coy and get their thoughts. James Gunn, he tweeted out, no reshoots. I don't need them. And everyone's saying, well, what does that mean? That means that's a lot of confidence in the movie. That's what that means. That means he's got confidence. They don't need reshoots. But there's more to it. And Coy, when you initially hear that, that's what you think, right? It's confidence.
Immediately, I'm excited.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. And there is confidence built. But here's the difference. And I want you guys to respond on it. Take it as you will. The difference is normally, if I say, all right, Coy, you're working for us. You're directing your movie. Here's what you have. You have all these different things. And go shoot your movie. And you have your budget. You have this that you're going to have. We're going to build into your thing. You have reshoots that you're going to have to do if you need them. And if we see some footage that we want, we're going to need you to reshoot some stuff for us. So you do your movie, you come back, you love what you shot. But me as the executive, I go, you know what? I like that, but we think we like to shoot a little bit more with so-and-so, call them back, shoot that for us, and then we'll look at it. You as the director has to do that as part of your contract. You do it, right? You shoot that up there. He doesn't have to do that because he's the executive. He's the guy. So when he goes out there, he knows everything he's going to shoot. He knows what he has to shoot. And if he comes up with a reshoot idea, he shoots it the next morning. And he doesn't have to do any of that stuff. So everything that he needs to reshoot, he did already. Everything that he's got it. He doesn't have to worry about anybody calling him back to do anything. And the budgets for the reshoots, he saved it now. He doesn't have to do it. So it's a very smart move. It's genius. But it's not one of these like, oh, he has so much he did everything he needed to do. He knew he's not answering to anybody.
I mean, it feels more like the older system of blockbusters where I know additional photography has been commonplace for the last 15 years, but I don't think it was as commonplace like in the 90s, and it certainly wasn't when things were on film. So I think it seems more like when you hire someone and there is earned trust. Like, I think Spielberg probably was safely able to go make his next movie after Jurassic Park mere weeks out, which both turned out to be masterpieces. But I do think the system became different. So it seems like if he's the boss of himself and there's confidence in the brand and confidence in what he's doing, that is still confidence. But I definitely see what you're saying about a lack of oversight, because he's the one going like, now do more of that. Already did.
Right. He's like, of course he has confidence.
Yeah, right. I don't know why that seems so funny to me. Now you get in there and you make sure that looks better. I will, me.
Right. Yeah, right.
Now, James, do we need more shots of this? No, I think we captured those on the day. Now, do we need David to come back? Already shot it yesterday. I mean,
you're not going to.
It's a fascinating.
But even people came back, Winston. They said, when I initially said it, like, well, yeah, but he hardly really did reshoots on Guardians. I said, what did you just say? He hardly did any shoots. He still had to do them because if Kevin Feige's like, hey, just do me a favor, I don't even really use them. Go use that thing, get Chris in there, do a couple shots, and that way you have them. He doesn't have to answer anybody. Now the question is, do you think Andy Muschietti, if James Gunn says, hey, we need you to reshoot stuff, is going to go, no, I'm not doing it? Of course he is. Because he doesn't. That's the beauty of being able to be the guy that also is representing your first movie out the gate. That's why he's taking. This is a leadership move.
What is it? Safran's his counter?
Yeah, Safran and him are producers of the DCU.
I feel like you need Safran to come in and be like, Hey, I love you, bro, but Superman right here look like he need to rework out this particular car lift.
Yeah, and if I'm James Gunn, you know what I'm saying? I'm going, is that what you think? Did you see Shazam 2? Quiet now.
Oh, and I
right?
Eat Skittles. Eat Skittles.
Hey, you don't give me notes, Saffron.
I also, and something we're not talking about is the length of this shoot. This movie shot for like 10 months or something. Like it could also be that the additional photography was never built in to come back to. It might be literally like the shoot was long enough that like if you find out while you're doing your edit that you needed something and your cast is already there. Plus, poor David Cornsweet, you know, he was a skinny dude and now he's a linebacker. So you don't want to carry that weight around if your body's not made
when you're the executive,
you're getting paid millions to be the most famous superhero. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. But look, when you're the executive and the director, the top executive, because that doesn't happen. The director and the lead star happens, but the top executive and director doesn't usually happen ever. And when that happens, when you're the guy plus you're directing, you make your own schedule. You know exactly what you do. It gives you the opportunity to say, because it's also going to teach him a lot when he's on the set to say, okay, well, my next thing, I'm going to give Andy or for Batman, or I'm going to give, because who's doing Supergirl?
Supergirl's Craig Gillespie, and then what's his name? James Mangold is
Swamp Thing. So same thing. Like you're gonna give them the option to say, here's some reshoot stuff, and here's this too. But those guys don't have the benefit because they're probably busy doing other things and don't want the responsibility of saying, okay, well, I have this to do. I got to make sure that if I don't want to do a reshoot, so I have this, because Gunn's got 70,000. He's working on Peacemaker. He's doing all these other things too. So you're right, Coy. He wants to be able to say, this is my schedule that I have. I don't want to come back and do anything else. I got too much other crap I got to do. I'm locked it up. No reshoots necessary. I shot the movie I wanted to shoot, and I don't have anybody to answer to. Well, what about Zoloft? Come on.
I also think that's an asset for them not flying to Comic-Con and like with 95% of the film shot. Like, I think it was probably also good because it wrapped like a week and a half later. I think it was probably good to not, hey, in 3 days, we've got to leave for 2 days. Okay, we'll fly back. I think not having someone telling you, no, you've got to do this thing was also a benefit, because we knew months earlier, or rumored was months earlier, they weren't doing Comic-Con. When they actually didn't show up, then a week later they wrapped. I think it being contained is a lot healthier for a film set to just make the thing, have it done, then go off.
Agreed. And then sticking with DC and sticking with James Gunn, well, let's talk about Peacemaker. James Gunn shares his first look at DCU's Argus logo, which is the new poster for the Penguin. Oh, fucking shit. Peacemaker James Gunn shares first look at DCU's Argus logo, and there's also a new poster for the Penguin that was released. DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn has shared a first look at the DCU's new Argus logo, but what else is the Peacemaker's director teasing? There's also a new poster for the Penguin ahead of its launch. While the organization was included in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice marketing campaign, we weren't properly introduced to the DCEU's Argus until Suicide Squad. Amanda Waller with the Advanced Research Group, Uniting Superhumans Advanced Research Group, United Support later returned in the Suicide Squad, Black Adam, and Peacemaker, while Waller's continued involvement with the government agency is unclear in the new DCU after the latter's first season. James Gunn has dropped a first look at the logo. Honestly, it's pretty much identical to the one used in the DCEU that was comic accurate, although we're still a little surprised that Gunn hasn't made any change. There will be a weird link between both worlds in the sense that the characters and the actors from the filmmaker's previous projects are carried over to this rebooted community. The photo was accompanied by a merman emoji, so start speculating now about whether that's meant as some kind of Aquaman tease. What we do know is that Waller has had to resort to assembling the creature commandos in place of Task Force X in the DCU, and that Gunn is currently shooting an episode of Peacemaker 2 Season 2, hence this sneak peek. So there is the said logo right there. Say what you will, I'll be explained by Winston and Coy what the hell that is. In other DC TV news, HBO and Max have announced today that the premiere weekend for The Penguin will begin the series premiere on Thursday, September 19th at 9 p.m. on HBO. That's East Coast time, 9 p.m. It will also be available to stream on Max and HBO. They will re-air the series premiere multiple times over the weekend, including Sunday, September 22nd, Sunday nights at 9, and it'll be the debut time and time of all subsequent new episodes of the 8-episode series on HBO. All right, so here is the poster for that series. So there's the poster for that one. Man, oh man. I guess we can start with the Penguin because there's not really a lot there minus the poster itself, and they are going for that full-on hardcore. I mean, you mentioned the rated R movies we were getting, Coy. This is definitely a rated R television show, and maybe could be the most intense and most hardcore out of all of them. You talk about anticipated. This is a show that I'm losing my mind over this show.
Dude, Greg makes fun of me every week because
Why?
I bring up the Penguin like 3 times a week, and he's like, no one's talking about the Penguin. I was like, it is on my mind daily. I think of this show nonstop. The amount of hype I have for Matt Reeves' universe and Colin Farrell, like, anytime Greg's like, oh, what are you excited for next? I'm like, Penguin. Like, nothing else has gotten in the way of my hype for Penguin.
He doesn't think it's going to do good?
Oh, he thinks it's going to do good, but he doesn't know anyone that's like breathing it like me.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I'm thinking about Penguin like I'm thinking about breakfast. Like, Penguin is living with me.
Well, then I'm a little more worried about you then. But
That's fair. That's always fair.
Yeah.
Like, I would hope. I know my fat ass is gonna feel some type of way, but I hope you're not thinking about the Penguin the way you're thinking about breakfast. At the same time, I think that is actually my most anticipated superhero thing left, even over Joker. I'm very excited about Joker, but I'm more excited about Penguin, to be honest.
You get to live in that world longer. I mean, yeah, you get to live there longer, and I think, and again, not to, I know, it seems like I'm always taking a shot at Star Wars, but I will say that I think that the fact that they put that bad taste in my mouth with what I thought we were going to get for Boba Fett. Now, granted, we weren't going to get something to this level ever in Star Wars. They can't get that dark. But when you're pitching a show as the Goodfellas or Godfather of Star Wars, and then you get that, you're like, what? Spy Kids in space. And then when they're saying you're going to get like the Sopranos type Penguin show, you're like, okay, sure. And then you see the trailer and you're like, okay, maybe I should shut up because that looks like you're telling me the truth.
And we're also living in this Colin Farrell heyday, man, between like Banshees of Inisherin and Sugar. And he's one of my favorite actors of all time. I literally started collecting. There's a few actors I own everything they've ever done because I buy physical media. And Colin Farrell is one of the actors where I own everything he's ever made. I even have his Irish films imported in a region-free Blu-ray so I can play them on American Blu-ray players. Like, I love the man. Him, long-form Batman, Matt Reeves Batman.
I know.
I'm just worrying Winston.
When you said, I buy everything he said, why didn't I ask to be like, oh, good for you?
Yeah. Christian Bale's like, why not me?
Sorry, Kristian, you're great, but there's a couple misses. Colin Farrell, though, like, I think he should have gotten the Oscar for Banshees, and I think that we're getting a really interesting character actor because of the suit. Like, I've said it before, but I think that Colin Farrell is like Brad Pitt, where they're character actors trapped in these handsome bodies and they want to be weird dudes and they're just too handsome. Right. Colin Farrell gets this suit and he gets to be what Colin Farrell wants to be.
You know what's crazy that you say that? Like, I'm obviously very aware that Colin Farrell's in the show. I'm very aware of it, obviously, and I'm with you. He's one of my favorite actors. When I think of the show, I don't picture the Colin Farrell that I know from other movies. Even
picture that creature.
I picture him. I do the character. I don't, because, and that's very hard to do. And granted, it's the makeup, but it's very hard to do to someone who's so recognizable to not at least relate it a little bit. You're like, oh yeah, he was so good in it, I barely recognized him, but I don't recognize him. He's not there. I mean, and I don't just mean like because of the makeup. I'm talking about the character that's coming out.
Well, and that to me is why I'm still excited about Joker, because I do think that Lady Gaga's proven she's a good actor. Obviously, Joaquin won an Oscar for that. As good as that was, Colin got so lost in the role. There was never a time of me thinking, oh, Joaquin is like, it popped up, Joaquin's doing whatever. I never was like, yo, Colin. I was like, yo, the Penguin, the whole time, the Penguin. And again, makeup has part way to do with it, but even, well, brush up on your Spanish, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there were just such elements to what that character was from top to bottom. That is completely suspending disbelief. That is fooling being lost in the world more so than like, okay, I'm aware of what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm excited to see it. It's a really hype series. The fact that it's on HBO Max, Now, I know we're a little over time. Do that.
It's a month out, gents.
I know
It's
that's
soon.
nuts. It's right around the corner. Let's do it real quick. I just want to do I want to do this last article that I read, and I want to get your thoughts on it.
Can you pull up that Argus logo real quick though? Because I've never seen it until just now.
Sure,
I want to point out something.
Okay. All right, Coy, you wanted to say something about the logo before we move to the next story.
Yeah, I'd never seen this till you just pulled it up. There's a bunch of things about this I really dig. So not only is it obviously A for Argus, and not only is it obviously an eye looking out at watching everything like Waller wants to do, she's the all-seeing eye. It's also an arrow, which looks like progress, and she's always thinking that the best way to make progress is by getting rid of superheroes and humanity being at danger because people have powers and she doesn't. I've never seen a logo quite capture an entire character like this. Like, to me, that's Amanda Waller. It's someone always watching, always thinking they're making progress. You got the A in there. And what Argus represents is the umbrella that oversees Task Force X, which is the Suicide Squad, and all those elements in DC. This is a really cool thing where it might be like the inversion of S.H.I.E.L.D., where there's a element of a symbol that causes you to be apprehensive of something. And I think that's how they might have Waller be a commanding presence over there, just from that symbol, which I've just seen for the first time. That's really cool.
Wow. You got a lot out of that, my friend. It's not a bad thing. That is accurate. That 1,000% feels pushing forward the air. Like, wow.
Yep, that was good. Wow. Well done. All right. So let's close with this because I want to end where we began. Kraven the Hunter. This is an article that came out, comic book movie, and it said Sony's, I guess SSMU, whatever that is, movies may be limiting the number of Spider-Man villains available to Marvel Studios. Now, there's a rumor claiming that any villain that is introduced in Sony Pictures Spider-Man-based movies blocks Marvel Studios from using that same character down the line. The current deal in place between Sony and Marvel when it comes to how Spider-Man can be utilized on screen tends to lead to some confusion, and it sounds like there might be more than we realized. As things stand, Sony maintains the rights to Spider-Man and all of his villains and supporting characters, but the deal allows Marvel Studios to have Tom Holland's wall crawler appear in their movies, while the solo Spider-Man movies remain Sony-Marvel co-productions. Sony has been forging ahead with its own SSMU universe with movies that don't feature Spider-Man at all and focus on the likes of Venom, Morbius, and the upcoming Kraven. And this may limit the number of characters that Marvel can use. According to Daniel Rickman, whenever Sony uses a villain, they block Marvel Studios from using them, which means there aren't many left for MCU Spider-Man to face off against. We're not sure exactly what this means for Sony-Marvel co-production, the upcoming Spider-Man 4, for example, but would Sony really prohibit Marvel from using a character in a project that they also have major stake in? We do know that having Holland's Spidey face off against Venom continues to be a complicated issue, and this could explain why. Even if this is accurate, Spider-Man has one of the most extensive and varied bad guy rosters of any superhero, so there are still plenty of villains available to Marvel Studios. Also, the Venom movies aside, the SSMU hasn't been a massive success, and the failure of Madame Web has led to speculation that Kraven underperforming could spell the end of the franchise. Who knows? Maybe the studios will be hashing out a new deal that's a lot more beneficial to Marvel soon enough. Rumors aside, we still know very little about Spider-Man 4 and how it's shaping up. Sony's Tom Rothman and Kevin Feige are believed to have some disagreements when it comes to the overall plot, with the latter hoping to scale the multiverse elements back for a smaller story. Rothman, meanwhile, is said to want to capitalize on No Way Home's success by bringing Tobey and Andrew Garfield back as their respective takes on Peter Parker. Dumb. Holland will, of course, return as the MCU's Spidey alongside Zendaya as MJ, but the actor is believed to be growing wary of playing the iconic hero, so this could be his final solo outing as the wall crawler. All right, anyway. So, interesting article there, guys, to say the least. Coy, you're the Spider-Man expert here. What do you make of that article?
It's interesting. It contradicts itself right in the article, or it's like they're running out of villains. Good thing they've got so many villains. Spider-Man does have it's like the top. Like, did he write it? Is it one person writing this? It feels like James Gunn bossing himself around. It's a very confusing article. It is interesting because there haven't been a lot of crossover Spider-Man villains, but there's also something to the nature of Spider-Man villains pretty directly relating to him. So it's not like we've missed out on MCU versions of Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man. So I don't know that that's true. It just feels like they're going to use them in Spider-Man movies, and we just haven't gotten to them yet. I've definitely noticed a lack of Scorpion in the follow-up films, but that it feels like that's because Sony wants to go bigger and bigger and bigger. I think if you went a smaller fourth Spider-Man film, a Mac Gargan Scorpion as caused by Jonah Jameson making Spider Slayers and Scorpion would work, but I think it's just circumstantial, not necessarily something in a contract.
What do you think, Winston?
I feel like Sony is becoming allergic to money. Like, that's the only thing that seems to make sense. Yeah, nah. Yo, Disney, thank you for making us like a few billy with your stuff, man. Like, that's cool. You know what I'm not going to do? Even though you're trying to potentially give me a few more billions, I'm not going to let you do nothing else with my ish. I just... They give me the same itch that Jerry Jones does when he won't just pay our star players. Just if Disney got something ready to cook, and I understand the MCU has had its ups and downs, but the one thing they have not messed up is whenever they've been using Spider-Man. Why are you making it more difficult to get paid? I don't understand it.
Well, here's what I'll say about that article that I think makes a good point. It shines a little light on the heavy push for the validity, or the quality rather, of Kraven on Sony's part, right? Because by pushing it into December, giving the director some time, making sure that it actually is really good and it delivers, it ensures if it does well and that people dig it and the trailer responds and people are like, whoa, that was a great hit, and it's got a positive buzz, it gives more life to their universe. It keeps them breathing, because if it does stink up the joint again and it's another bomb, there's only so long Venom sequels can keep you breathing. So that's why there's this heavy push. Either, like we said, polish a turd and try to make it as popular as we can, or give the guy as much time to make a really good movie for us so we can keep holding on to these guys. And it makes sense overall business wise. But to say, we don't know, this is speculation, but if we don't know if they are saying you can't use these villains because we want to use them, it's like, it's stupid. And I still say, and we've talked about this last time, Rothman's made some great decisions as an overall executive. The fact, if this is true, that he keeps pushing back to do a multiverse thing, stop. Because you didn't know how to do Spider-Man before, as Winston just said. You didn't know how to do these movies. The movies that you did before with Andrew Garfield, as much as we like Andrew Garfield, they weren't working. The audience wasn't responding to them at the very end of the run. For whatever reason it was, you weren't doing it the right way. You made the deal with Marvel for a particular reason, and they want to use it in a way, and they want to make their movie from the other ways that they did, and now they want to scale it down. Stop trying to be greedy and throw the billion-dollar dart. Make a good movie. Make the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and stop being an executive.
Caveat out of just, and I know that this episode in particular, the comments, I can feel them, me defending studios. I do also fear that the audience that isn't us, that isn't aware of Spider-Man to the scale we are, like everyone knows who Spider-Man is, one of the most popular characters of all time, but just from a movie-going standpoint, I'm afraid that studios are going to see we have to make sequels bigger. And I'm afraid that in general, we just had multiverse. They would feel like it's a step back to go friendly neighborhood, to go smaller. I think that's the conflict.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't think it's a good move, but I do see where a studio would come from.
I do too.
It's not as dumb as other ideas.
No, I look, I get the idea behind it. It's like, hey, we made $1 billion with Toby and with Andrew, and people love.
Everyone wants that.
Everyone,
and we do.
Exactly.
Asterisks.
Everyone wants it, but what I still don't understand, and I'd like to see the deal inside of that. The stupid decision, unless it's in the contract that they can't do it. Why in the world, if you didn't calculate, if you were going to calculate to do a freaking Madame Web movie and why did you not calculate to do two stand-up, an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie and a Tobey Maguire movie, unless that's part of the deal that you weren't allowed to do it while in deals with with Marvel. So I don't know, but to I don't know, to say you're right. Business wise, it makes sense, but if it's quality wise, trust in Marvel to know what they're doing with it. People are still going to go see it. They're still going to go see it.
At this point, I wonder if there is something contractual where Tom Holland is Spider-Man in the universe, And there's something about not being able, unless he's in it, to have Toby and Andrew, or not bring in Miles. Like it's very interesting that there is no Sony Spider-Man but Tom live action, and that the animated did so well, and there isn't. It's just like, I'm wondering if there's some crazy line in a contract somewhere that's like, that's Spider-Man.
It has to be, because the fact that they set up a multiverse, people would have been like, oh, I understand why there's separate Spider-Man. But if in the contract it says, well, you can't do that, you can only do the villains. And then I guess if I'm Sony, I say, if that is part of the deal, by the way, if the deal is that you can't use Spider-Man in your own Sony movies, and they're like, okay, well, fine, then you can't use the villains in yours. You know what I mean? So maybe. So I don't know. We don't know the deal. Anyway, thanks for joining us here today on the show, Capes and Cows Baked In. We covered a lot. So thanks for being here. Please make sure you comment. Tell us all your thoughts on these things. Click like, share this video. Help people find this and find our show here on Fridays. I think Winston and Coy most likely will be doing their show together next week. I'm going to be out, but Winston will be hosting it, I believe, unless something else comes up. But that's what we're aiming for. But speaking of Winston and Coy, Winston, where can they find you?
Hey, you can find me at the Swaggy Blurred over here on YouTube and on all social platforms. The Olympics tried to take me down. They tried to stop me from posting content on IG and kiss my behind. I keep forgetting I got to stop cussing for that. Now that
kiss his abs because he's in the Olympics.
There you go. I'm trying to watch my cussing even more now, because now I see how it affects ad dollars. So now I'm actually.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Selfish.
But no, you can go and find me over here on YouTube at the Swaggy Blurred. I had something going on with my computer, so you didn't get much content last week, but I am rectifying that situation as we speak.
Nice. Coy?
Kiss my abs, and you realizing through your own channel that Kristian's been trying to feed his family this whole time was so funny to me. Like,
why am I worried about his babies? Why? One of them is a mob boss. Why am I worried about his babies?
In the outro, no, Kristian's kid's gonna be great in the Penguin. That's why I'm so excited for that show. She's gonna be such a good villain to the Penguin. You can find me at CoyJandro. I've done a decent amount of D23 coverage. I'm dropping 2 more videos this week. Then I'm done with Disney D23 for a while. But I also covered Alien, also covering The Crow, also covering all sorts of stuff. So my own solo YouTube page, and I'm excited to see Winston's back, because his editing is so good that I actually watch his videos to be like, oh, that's a good idea. So Winston's crushing it.
Thanks, buddy. You watching my stuff just to
steal it. Just to steal it.
Oh, no. We edit totally differently. If you look at my videos, my style is totally different. But I'm just like, as a proud friend, I'm not taking anything. I try to say a nice thing. This is what I get.
Well, because the way you set it up, you straight up was like, I love watching Winston's stuff. So I go, that's a great idea. I'm going to do that.
My channel's growing and his is over there. I'll make sure mine grows with his. Yes, these are the styles of edits.
Well, good for you both. It is a pleasure to have you on the show, as always. Make sure, everybody, like I said, comment, and go in the links in the description. Click on those links. I would love for you to get something for yourself. But if you don't, click on the links. You can do that for me, right? Yeah, I'll do it for you. Come on, show a little. Thanks for being here. Thanks to Coy. Thanks to Winston. We'll see you guys on the flip side.